Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
All triple E, CE, and IT. IT people are there. Triple E, CE, and IT only. Okay. Okay, students. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. Actually, we have different Linux operating flavors, operating system flavors we have. So I think you are using, most of you are using Ubuntu and all. Okay, Ubuntu, Linux, Fedora, Debian, CentOS, all will comes under the Linux flavors. Don't simply talk Red Hat is one operating system, Fedora is one operating system. Don't think like that. All are the Linux flavors only. Here I am using Red Hat 8. I am using here. I have installed. I think most of you knows the installation process. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Terminal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, this is the Linux terminal. Here, in Linux also we are having most of the operations will perform using command prompt only. So whenever we want to communicate with the operating system, we have GUI mode and CLI mode. GUI, graphical user interface, CLI, command line interface. So mostly in Windows operating system, we'll go with the GUI. Command line interface also there, but we will not that much familiar with the command line interface. When it comes to the command line interface or in Linux operating system, mostly will communicate with the operating system through CLI mode, command line interface. So the Linux operating system can be used by the programmers, the students, those who well known. All other illiterates cannot operate this operating system. Okay. Here, this is the terminal. You can fetch here. For Red Hat activities are there, or Ubuntu, some other options will be shown. You can simply type terminal, that will give us the command prompt for us. This is the terminal we have. So through this terminal, we can directly communicate or we can open the files, we can create the files, we can delete the files, we can move the files, we can copy the files. Okay. So here we can edit the files, whatever the operations we can perform in GUI mode, we can perform in CLI mode also. Here, CLI mode communication is very, very important in Linux environment. Okay, if you do not do the commands, we cannot do anything. We cannot communicate with the operating system. Okay, so let's go with the file creation today. How to create the files and how to copy them, how to move them, how to change the directories and all. Let us see these operations. Most of the IT people knows. Actually, I taught Linux programming for them the last semester. So all of you please aware, you should practice and you have to remember the commands, otherwise you cannot do anything. Okay. Here let's go for file creation. Whenever we talk about actually files, here we have different types of files in Linux environment. We are having regular files, we are having directory files, directory also a file, some socket files we will be having, and different linked files also we will be having, and named files means FIFO files also we will be having, different kinds of files. Why I am telling this word? Because directory also will comes under the file, that is a directory file. Okay, the text file, .doc file, xls file, .c file, .py file, python, .java, all files. The directory also will comes under one type of file here. Okay, that's why here we are going to talk about file creation, that is regular file, and directory file creation. These two we are going to discuss today. Okay, here let me take file creation. So in file creation, we have many regular file creation. Let's go for regular file creation. Regular file creation. In regular file creation, we have many commands or many editors. So the initial editors or cat is the command, and vi is the command, and touch is the command. Okay. So here this cat is a command actually. Vi is an editor. Like vi, we have different types of editor. Vim also there, Pico also there, Nano also there. So many kinds of editors we have. Nano also there, many kinds of editors we have. But these two, this is a famous editor. So with this we can perform, or we can create the files, we can edit the files, we can modify the files. Okay, so with this we can simply create the files, but editing will be somewhat difficult by using cat command. So here we are going to discuss this cat command and vi editor and touch command. So these are that is your interest, which editor just you choose. We are preferring this vi, this is enough. Okay, so let's go with the cat command today. Cat command. Here cat is nothing but concatenation. Concatenation. So we are going to concatenate the files. We are going to create the files. Okay, let's make use of that cat command. Vi means visual editor. So touch command also we can we are going to see. Simply we create empty files. In order to create empty files, we use this. These three we are going to discuss. Okay. So okay, let's go with the cat command today. Here clear is the command to clear the screen. Let's make use of cat command. The syntax of the cat command, simply here we'll be having cat, and here we'll be having option and some file name we are going to use. Whatever the file name we are going to create. Okay, like this we are going to create a file. So here, in order to escape this line, you can use Control C. Using Control C, don't execute the command. So now let us go for command now. Cat space greater than, for example, just I wanted to create a file, that is a text file, that is f1.txt, f1.txt, cat greater than. So here greater than means it is a redirectory. So the redirection that is showing standard in output redirection. We can call it a standard output redirection. Whatever we are going to type, that will be placed into this file. Okay, enter. So that is prompting. That is prompting us to enter some content. Here I am writing some content. This is dev associate. Class, yeah, learning. You can type enter. Learning basic Linux commands. It is a first batch actually. You can write whatever you want here. Then in the new line, remember here in the new line, so don't type anything here. If you want to save, it's the first class. If you want to save that line also, go to the next line, press Ctrl Z, Ctrl plus Z, and that will be saved. Okay, then file has been saved. So you can check whether the content has been saved or not. Cat space file 1.txt, cat space f1.txt. This is for displaying the content of the file. See, it has been saved. This is dev associate class learning. So we have not missed a single line. So like that we can create a file. So let me create one more file, some f2.txt, greater than, for creation greater than we have to use. Okay, then enter. Here also I am typing something. See, 3 lines I am entering. Here itself I am pressing Ctrl Z. That time this line will not be saved. This line will not be saved. Here itself at the end of this third line I am pressing Ctrl Z. So that will be saved. Let us see the content of the file. Cat space f2.txt. See, third line not saved. So like this we can make use of cat command and we can create, but we cannot edit. We cannot edit the content by using cat command, but we can append some line to the file. The appending can be like this: cat space double greater than some f1 I am having, f1.txt. So appending one line to the existing file, double greater than, here I am using. Observe here it will prompt us. Here I am giving some blank space, and this is an appended line 1. Then this is line 2, like that I am typing. Then in the new line, Ctrl Z. The content will be saved. Let us see, cat space f1.txt. See, we have appended the line, isn't it? Like this, we can append the content to the existing file. But if you want to edit this basic, I wanted to delete this basic, I cannot edit, I cannot remove. I can edit while typing the current line only. I can edit. Other than that, I cannot do anything with this command. Okay, let us see few more options with this cat command. I'm clearing the screen. Clear. Cat. Here I have created actually file 1 I have created, yeah, file 1.txt. I wanted to copy this content into another file. File 1 space f1.txt greater than, I'm creating your f1 copy. Likewise, f1 copy, I'm creating f1 copy.txt. Another new file I'm giving here. This f1 content will be copied to fn.copy. Okay, let me check. Cat space f1 copy.txt. Same content will be here. Okay, so like this we can copy the content. So if you want to copy the 2 files content at a time, for example, f1.txt, then f2.txt. Okay, two files content we can display. First one file content has been displayed, next another file content has been displayed. If you want to redirect the same content to another file, that is f4.txt, that is a new file, you can redirect, no problem. See the content in f4.txt. Yeah, that content has been redirected to the fourth file. Okay, so here there is a difference between greater than and double greater than. Greater than and double greater than. See, greater than will replace the content in the destination file, but double greater than will append the lines to the previous file. See, I am having another file. I am creating a file already created. Then f2.txt I am taking. I am redirecting this content to f4.txt. Previously in f4.txt we have f1 content and f2 content. Both the contents are available. But now what will happen? This f2 content will replace the total content in the f4. See? So now in f4, see the content, only f2 file will be there. Get it? So what's happening with the double single greater than? That is simply replacing the content in the destination file. If you want to append to the previous existing file, so now I am appending. I can append like this. For example, f1.txt I am taking. I am giving double greater than and f4.txt. What will happen in f4.txt? Already this content is there. For this content, this f1.txt will be appended. Okay, if you use double greater than. If you use single greater than, that will be replaced. See, now I am checking f4.txt. So here, this is already f2.file content, and this is what we are having now, f1 file content. Okay, so this is the way we can create the files. We can redirect, means we can copy the content. We can do some modifications. We are having some options also. Few options I'll give you. Only one or two options I'll give you. Here, if you want to display the content with the lines, we are having a option called -n. Okay, you have to call it as hyphen, HYPHEN. Don't call it as minus. cat-n. Okay, that hyphens used to give the option cat-n. Then file name I'm giving some f1.txt. So that content will be displayed with line numbers. Okay. So we can check for the empty lines also the content will be displayed. If you want to display the if you want to assign the line numbers only data lines, so we are having one more option also only for data lines, that is option B we are having. Okay, that will leave the blanked lines. Combinedly we can use or separately we can use. Okay, if you have multiple blanket lines, those multiple blanket lines can be squeezed to a single blanket line by using -s. But we do not have multiple blanket lines, only single blanket line we have. If we have multiple, that will bring it to a single blanket line. Like that we can have many options. So we are having many options about the cat command. If you want, we can check like this: man space cat. Man means manual pages. Manual pages of this cat command. Okay, all the manual pages will be displayed. You can check here. The quick manual they have given here. So here many options are there. We have many options. -A, -B, -E, -N we are using. Okay, T also there. TU. We will not use all the options. Whenever we require, we will use. If you want to learn what will happen, just you can practice with those. Okay, then here press Q to quit from here. Press Q, and we have one more helping command, that is cat space -help. It also gives the options. This hyphen help will give the information very briefly and neatly. So we can make use of this hyphen help. Okay. These are the two commands. With these two commands, you can take the you can know the information about the specific command. Okay. So man is one command, and cat is actually a command about we wanted to know about this hyphen help. Okay. These are the helper commands. I think you understood the cat command. Yeah, you understood the cat command. So here, sir, just I wanted to know whether these many files are created or not. Simply we have to remember the names of the files. No, we are having a simple listing command, that is ls. ls is the command that will list out the files or directories which we have created till now. And the files and directories which are there in the current directory will be shown to us. Okay, here in the current directories, these are the files and directories I have, and new files also I have created. So that's why it is very needed command ls. ls hyphen l is long listing of files and directories. I will talk about this ls command later. So very much important information is there about the output here. What we got, very needed information this is. Even for the real-time people also, they will use this information about the files, which is very important. I'll talk about this. This is just simply use it for simple listing. We can list the files in reverse alphabetical order also. ls-r. See, here it is listed out in the alphabetical order. Here ls-r that will list out in a reverse order. Then we can use long listing of files also, lr. Here we have used L, only long listing, that is in the alphabetical order. Here reverse alphabetical order, long listing. Okay, we can have another shortcut also, long listing, that is LL. LL also will give the long list of files and directories. But while in shell scripts, we should not use LL. So we have to use ls-l. The exact usage is ls-l. The shortcut is LL. Okay. So in the shell scripts, we have to use this only, not that LL. So these are the basic commands now. So we have seen cat command. So if you want to get all the options and all, so I will give you. We are having a command called history that will list out whatever the commands till now we executed. That list will be given to us. That list. So you have to practice one by one. Then only you can easily remember. Okay. Then only you can easily remember. So make use of all these. Then up to here we have taken. Okay. Copy. Just I am preparing a small notes for you, for your reference later. Okay, let us clear the screen. So now next important command is vi editor. It is about the files. So we have seen the drawbacks in cat command. That is, we cannot edit the file. We can create, we can make use of that, but we cannot edit. So here vi is an editor, visual editor. By using this, we can create the files. Vi space file name, whatever the file name just you wanted to have, you can create. Okay, the file name, for example, already f4 we have created, f5 text file I'm creating, extension also I'm giving vi space some file name dot extension. See, by default, here you have to remember, by default, whenever we enter into this VI editor, this will be in the escape mode. Escape mode means we cannot type anything. We cannot insert the data here. So we cannot insert the data. That's why we are having an option called I. Whenever we press I, observe here, I pressed I. So what it is showing at bottom? Insert mode. So here now we can insert the data. So here some welcome to BVRIT, some Narsapur. Okay. So whatever the data just you wanted to type, you can type. If you want to edit the lines, you can edit, no problem. You can go up and down. Whatever the content just you wanted to delete, you can delete. Okay. So here, if you want to replace something, you can replace, isn't it? We can edit the content. See, here now, I have to save the content after typing. We have to press escape. We have to press escape button at the left bottom. We are having on the keyboard, that is escape button. Press escape. Then this insert will disappear. I'm pressing escape. Escape. Insert disappeared. Now we have to type shift colon, that will appear at bottom. Shift colon. Shift colon W for writing means saving. Q for quitting. W for writing, Q for quitting. If you want to do it forcefully, we can use exclamatory also. If you want to do it forcefully, if it is not happening, writing and quitting, then we will do it forcefully with exclamatory. But by default, we can use these two. Enough. W for writing, Q for quitting. Then enter. Then we came here. Let's check ls. Yeah, I have a file f5.txt. f5.txt. If you want to see the content with cat command, we can check f5.txt. And this is what I have written in the file. Okay. If you want to open the file again, if you want to open the file, if you want to create new file, so directly we can make use of vi. So here vi space, if you want to open x16 file, f5.txt, enter. So that will show us, but it is in escape mode. We have to press I. Yeah, after pressing I, it is showing insert. So we can edit or we can modify whatever we wanted to do. Okay, that's it. Okay, like this I have edited. See, I don't want to save it. I have typed something, but I don't want to save it. I'm pressing escape, shift colon. If you want to save, we have to type W. If you don't want to save, simply do, if you want to quit, simply use Q. So whatever the lines now we inserted recently, that will not be saved. If you type Q and enter, see what it is asking, no write since last chance, add exclamatory to overwrite. So here it is suggesting we have to quit forcefully, Q exclamatory. See the content which is modified, that's not available because I have quitted. I have quitted, I have not saved the recently typed. Okay, vi space f5.txt. Then press I for insert. So here, if you want to type something, you type here. If you want to save the content, shift escape, press escape, then shift colon. Simply if you want to save W, I'm pressing W and enter. The control will remain here in control, it's in the editor itself, because I have saved but not quitted from this editor. So it has been saved. Now I am using Q to quit out. So I came out. Okay. So this is the way of creating the files by using VI editor. Here in VI editor, We have the modes called. We have the modes. What are the modes we have? By default, it is in escape mode. By default, it is in escape mode. And afterwards, if we press I, okay, then I to insert mode. I to insert mode. Then we have press colon. It's a colon mode. Three modes we have. Here, by default, it is in escape mode. If you press I, insert mode, we can edit and whatever we wanted to do, we can do. If you want to move to colon mode, we have to press escape. If you want to press escape, then only shift colon will be printed. Means colon mode we will get. In the colon mode, whatever we wanted to type, we can type. If you do any mistake here, if you want to erase this, simply press escape mode and press I to go to insert mode. Okay, so by practicing, you can easily make use of this editor. Okay, just you go through the commands and options, whatever I have given now, you can check. If you want to create a simple C program, VA space some add.c, I can create, no problem. Press I, by default in escape mode, press I, hash include stdio.h, then int main. Here void main won't be work, it is a GCC compiler, where we have seen in eTools also, that is GCC compiler, int main only will be worked. Then here I am taking some A, B and C. You can write the code, printf, enter A and B values, or enter any two integers. Use scanf, read the values, %d, ampersand a, comma, ampersand b. So after reading, simply perform the addition. C is equal to A plus B. Print the result. Printf addition \n, addition is equal to %d. Use \n here. And I am printing C value. You know C program. Return 0. Must be there. Okay. C program we have created. Then press escape. Then shift colon, W for saving, Q for quitting. This is C program. Let us check whether it is created or not. ls add.c created. If you want to check the content, you can see add.c. Yeah, content is there. C program content is there. So in order to compile C program, we have a command called gcc add.c. GCC space add.c in order to compile C program. /out /a.out to execute that compiled program and enter any two integers. I am giving 10 and 20. Addition is that. So we can talk about these compilers later. Just to check about the VI editor. Yeah, it is working. VI, a few more options. Let us see here. Add.c. Here, for example, I'm having some 10, 15, or 50 to 100 lines of code. That time, if I get any error here, that will show some a particular line we are having some error and all. So that time, if you want to know that line numbers, we are having one more option called, in the escape mode itself, go to colon mode, shift colon, set space NU. That will set the line numbers. These line numbers won't be saved, but it will guide us to enter the lines and to find out the errors where the specific line is, to find out and to edit Okay, set space NU. So like this we are having, and shift colon WQ, saving and quitting. Is it okay? So we can edit the file, we can create the new file using VI editor. This is the way of using VI editor. Now let's go for another command, that is next command. Before that I'm taking the history. History lo ఎక్కువగా ఏం యూస్ చేస్తాం VI editor లో? Nothing. సింపుల్ గా దీంట్లో ఏం అర్థం కాదు, అంత ఇన్సైడే మనం చేసాం. Remember these modes. That's enough. So next command is touch command. This is to create empty files. This is to create empty files. See, we can create multiple empty files. We can create multiple empty files, like some ABC is a file name, some XYZ .txt is a file name, then space some sub.c is a file name. Different empty files we can create, many files. Okay, separated by space. Let us check ls. What are the file names? ABC. Yeah, ABC. I got xy x.txt. Yeah, the text file is there. Sub.c. Yeah, where is that? Yeah, here I got sub.c. So different multiple file names. Without extension also we can take. Without extension, that will comes under shell script related, actually binary related file, without any extension. And here it is text file, here it is C file. Different multiple files we can create. Okay. This is the way. Actually we are having some another scripts also. While creating multiple empty files, if you want to copy the same content into each and every multiple file, we are having different commands also. So some T command, different commands also there. So this is the usage of touch command. ఎందుకంటే sometimes we require some empty files, so afterwards we will fill those empty files. So sometimes we need, that's why we can make use of touch command. Okay, so these are the three files. These are the three files we can create, we can use for regular file creation. We can use it for regular file creation. Empty files, different empty files. Next we have seen simple regular file creations. Now directory file creation. Directory file creation. Directory file creation. Let's see that. So in directory file creation, we are having a single command, that is mkdir. Okay, mkdir we have, and for only creation I'm telling. I'll talk remaining later. So mkdir is the command. Now mkdir space, we can have options also. Option, without options also we can create. Just I wanted to create a directory, for example, directory in the sense a folder in Windows operating system. mkdir some d1 is a directory, I can create. Just take it ls d1, it is showing ls d1, it's a directory has been created. If you want to create multiple directories, mkdir some d2, we can create d3, some d4, multiple directories also we can create. ls, yeah, we got d2, d3 and d4 directories, it is showing. Well and good. Here we have one option, that is, if you want to create some subdirectories, subdirectories like under D1 we want to create D2, under D2 we want to create D3, under D3 just we want to create some D4. So that is called subdirectories creation. Okay, that is called parent directories creation. Sir, you are talking about D1, D2, D3 and D4 and all. If I wanted to create a directory with my name, can I create or not? Yeah, you can create. It is like a variable name. Different variable names we have, but some constraints we have. Here, any name can be acceptable as a file name and as a directory name. Okay, just I wanted to create parent directories, mkdir, some dd1 I wanted to create, dd2, just dd3, another dd4 I want to create. Okay, here we are having an option called -p to create parent directories. Let me check ls. Actually, what is the top most directory? Parent directory dd1. Under dd1 I have dd2, dd3, dd4 and all. If you want to check them, we are having a command called tree. Tree is the command that will list out. See, this tree that will give the files and directories in tree structured manner. We are having these are all files available here. Under dd1 we have dd2, under the dd3, another dd4. Subdirectories also will be listed out. So in these directories we do not have any subdirectories, that is not listing out, that's fine. Okay, so tree is the command to list out the subdirectories. So this is the way of creating directories is with a simple single command mkdir. Multiple directories or single directory or parent directories we can create. Now the files and directories creation is over. Here we are having mkdir, what we have done, mkdir some d1 I can create multiple directories also, some d2, d3 and d4. If you want to create parent directories, mkdir -p / some different directories, dd1 / dd2 / dd3 / just you wanted to create a file name or directory name, so Mahesh or Suresh, your roll number, you can give, no problem. Parent directories also we can see. If you want to check them, just simply ls we use and tree also we use for the tree structure. If you want to see them, we are having one more command, ls-R, and recursive structure that will show us in recursive structure. See, here I am having d1 under d1 I have, sorry, dd1, under dd1 we have dd2, here under dd1 dd2 I am having dd3, so specific information will be given us. Okay, this is about mkdir command, and tree command ls-r also will give the same information like tree, but tree seems to be very nice whatever we have, and under this directories also you'll be having files and all, we can view them also. Okay, so this is called file creation. Now file creation is over. Sometimes we wanted to remove a file, we wanted to copy a file, we wanted to move a file. Okay, so operations on files and directories means regular files and directories. So here what are the operations we'll perform? We'll move the file. Let's go copy the file and move the file. Then thirdly, we'll remove the file. Okay, remove the file. Then we are having about the directories. One more operation is there: changing directory. Changing directory is very important operations. So these operations you are going to learn now. Okay, file and directory creation. Can anybody tell me what are the commands till now we have seen about the file creation? Who is 4C1? 4C1? Then 4E1.
4C1. 4C1. It is not a regular class. It is important your job related class. Please respond. 4C1.
We are not getting your voice.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir,
So what are the commands related to simple regular file creation? List out the commands.
in file creation, we have subdivisions like register and directory, sock, linked, and in registration we use cat, vi, and touch commands. So cat is for concatenation, vi is visual editor, and touch is for creating empty files. So they have.
Okay, fine. For E1.
Sir, I have doubts. Sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, is hash and dollar both are same, sir?
No.
By default.
Hash and dollar. Okay. That's what you want. Okay, students. Actually, this is hash means that is for the root user. Hash will be shown. Okay. For a regular normal user, dollar will be shown. So I'm having some another user also. My name. See what it is showing? Dollar. So dollar prompt means I am a normal user. So I do not have privileges, all the privileges like a root user. Okay. Then some administrative related commands, that is adding the users, then adding some modifying the networks related some information. Some different script files will be there, OS related files. There I will not be having options, means as a normal user. Okay, here hash means root user. So here I am working as a root. Okay, hash means working as a root. All permissions are given to the root user. Okay, that is only the difference. While working, you can see what are the differences and what are the commands it is not allowing. What are the commands it is not allowing. So if you want to check, you can check. Sys2 Sandarmi here I am using. It's my directory. Here I wanted to add the user. User as is the command. Here I wanted to add some 18 batch, then for C1, some username I am creating. Permission denied. Okay, for a regular user, the permission is denied. But sometimes here we are having a command called sudo. Super user operations we can perform by using this. User add 18 for C1. Sudo will be permitted. Means as a normal user, if you want to execute the super user related operations, means root user related operations, that time we will use sudo command. So that will prompt us password. A regular password only will be prompted. So for your user only, then this user will be created. User has been created. Okay, and this super user privileges will be there for by default while you are installing. Some username will be asked to create. So that user by default will be the super user. Sorry, some privileged user. Those privileged users can make use of sudo. We can place some users as sudo users also. So that is different administration thing. So the dollar and hash, there is a difference. Regular user, then admin or root user. That's only the difference. Students, any other doubts? For E1. For E1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just to tell me the directory also about ls command.
ls command will show the whether the file is created or not. Location of the
ls command, the command description just you give listing. ls command will list out the files and directories in the current directory. Okay.
okay. Okay.
What are the files and directories we have? If you want to have a long list of files and directories, ls-l, ls space -l. So that will give the long list of files. And these are very basic commands and which are very needed also. Always we'll use them. Now let's go for operations on files. Okay, good. Then about mkdir also you have learned. Let's go for copying, moving, and removing, changing the directory. Okay, let's go for copying file to file, file to directory. Directory to file is not possible, and we can perform directory to directory copying also. Here we can perform copying file to file and file to directory. Then directory to directory we can perform. These are the copy. Okay, let us perform. For copying, we have a command called cp. Cp is the command to copy. Okay. Let me check my files actually. Here I am having add.c. Add.c is my file. Just I wanted to copy this file into another file, that is add2.c. I wanted to take add2.c. cp space source name and destination name we have to give. The source name add.c, destination name, that is the new name, add2.c I'm giving. Okay, enter. Let me check ls. So add2.c. So let me check whether the content is there or not. Add2.c. Yeah, content is there. Copied. That file content has been copied to add2.c. It's available. Okay, fine. This is called simple file to file copy. Okay, one file to another file copy. Now, here I wanted to copy a file to a directory. I wanted to copy a file to a directory. Here the current directories I'm having D1 directory. Just I wanted to copy this add2.c file into D1 directory. That time cp space, then source add2.c, destination. So that is D1. D1 is available. File has been copied. So let me check ls. Here I cannot see and can use the command called tree command. So it will give us. So it will give us information. Yeah, under D1, add to.c is there. Under D1, add to.c is there. It's available. Yeah. File has been copied. Like that we can copy. File to a specific directory we can copy. Next, I wanted to copy directory to directory. I wanted to copy directory to directory. That time, here let us see now. I wanted to copy this D1 directory into D2 directory. Okay, so what will happen? In copying, remember the original copy will be there only, original file, and the same file will be copied into another place. In copying the original, the source file will be there itself, that won't be deleted. Okay, so here total D1 will be copied into, I wanted to copy into D2. So this time we need to remember one option also here. One option. The option is cp space. Without option I will try now. Then that will detect some error. D1 into D2. So D1 will be copied into D2 directory. See what it is showing? Vomiting directory. Here that is giving guidelines. -r not specified. Means R means recursive copying. Means in the directories we'll be having subdirectories, subfiles. So many files will be there. That's why -r will copy recursively. All the subfolders, subfiles, everything will be copied into the destination. That's why we have to give cp-r d1 space d2. Now it has been copied. Let us check tree. This is the command. Yeah, total d1 is there. The d1 comes under d2. D1 comes under d2. Like this we can copy. Okay. So while copying, some more options also there. -f forceful copying and -b, the description will be given while copying. For example, f2 I am copying f2.txt to f22.txt. That's a new file. That is giving description. The options, descriptions will be given. Okay. Then cp hyphen I also there. That is interactive mode. It has to ask yes or no, but sometimes it may work or may not work. Some f33 is a new file I wanted to copy. Can add no such file or directory. F3 file is not there.
Not there.
F4 empty. Actually, for the regular users, it has to ask yes or no. I means interactive copy. Here it is not asking. So these are the options. Just you remember the option -r, that is recursive copying. That is why we are copying the directory. When we are copying the directory, we have to use the option called -r. This is file copying and directory copying. I think it's over. So we cannot copy a directory into a file. ఒక ఫోల్డర్ని మనం ఫైల్లో కాపీ చేయలేం కదా. ఒక ఫోల్డర్ని నోట్ ప్యాడ్ టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్ కింద డాక్యుమెంట్ ఫైల్ కింద మనం చేయలేం. That is not possible. Okay, so this is copy. Take this history of commands will be shown. cp from here onwards. Okay. Let's go with next command, that is move command. Move. The copy and move mostly similar, but what will happen here? Whenever we are moving, the original file will not be available. Okay, that will be totally moved. Actually, even in C programming also, or we have file copying, file related operations. There also, if you copy, the original file will be there. If you perform move, nothing will be there. Simply they will perform one more operation called remove. They will remove the original file. After performing copying, they will remove the original file. Okay. Here also that will be happen. See, I wanted to move file to file. Here you can do renaming of the file. So I will show you. Just f1.txt is there. Sorry, add.c is there. I am taking that. I.c. I wanted to change it to edition.java. Edition.java. So that time I will do like this. Sir, I have given different extensions, sir. Instead of Java, I have given C, sir. So that time you can rename it. Source add.c. I wanted to change it to edition.java. Yeah, that will be renamed. You can check. Add.c is not available. It's not available. That is totally replaced. So it is called renaming also, old name and new name. Sometimes you may give, sir, ABC is my C file, sir, but I didn't give extension, sir. I wanted to rename it, sir. Yeah, MB space ABC space ABC ABC dot C, give dot C. That will be renamed. You can check. Yeah, it will become C file. You can edit whatever you wanted to do. Yeah, so we are having Python also. If you wanted to change it to Python, here sub.c is there. If you want to change it Python, MB space some sub.c. So if you want to change it to sub.py, that will be changed to Python extension. So the internal code also must be related to Python. Here we are performing operations on file names only, not file content. So that content should be related to Python. Okay, this is renaming or moving. But here sometimes just we wanted to keep the backup of the destination file. So here we can take the backup. Let me check whether it is taking destination or source backup. The option is -b sub.py is there. Just I wanted to change it to sub.c. Okay, to C file just I wanted to change, rename. That is moving. Observe here that will take one backup. Which backup I don't know. I have to check it. Okay. If the destination file is having some content, if you wanted to move that f1.txt to some sub.c, so this file will be changed to sub.c. But sub.c is having some important content. If you want to take the backup of this one, such cases we can use this option. MB space some -b f1.txt, then sub.c. It is already available. It will make the backup of sub.c. Yeah. All right. It is asking. Let me check. Yeah, it has created sub.c. Okay. It has created sub.c. This f1.txt has become sub.c. Yeah. That has been moved totally. There is no f1.c. But in sub.c we are having some content that backup we have taken. This tilde symbol at last represents that it is a backup file. Okay. This is moving. Moving is moving file to file we have seen. If you want to move a file to directory, okay, ABC file is there. Just I wanted to move. ABC file. Just I wanted to move into D3 file. Then this will not be appear here. The total file will be moved over here. Okay. In the copying, the thing is different. Let us move MB space ABC.C to D3 directory. That will be moved. That's it. Original file will not be available again. There is no ABC. Yeah, here there is no ABC. That has been moved to D3. Okay. This is file to file moving, file to directory moving. Next, directory to directory moving. Directory to directory moving. Here we have many directories. D4 directory is there. I wanted to move the total this D3 directory into D4 directory. Means this total directory will be moved to D4 directory and this will not be appeared over here. Let us see now. Okay, MV space, then D3 directory to D4 directory has been moved. If it is not happening, just here also you can use -F forceful moving and -R also for recursive moving. -F mostly we will use for forceful. Okay, actually here move also the actual proper way -R must be accepted, but without that also it is working fine. But in copying, -R must be used while we are copying directories. So now it's completed, I think so. Let us check. It has been moved or not. Yeah, the total D3 has been moved to. The total D3 has been moved to under D4. Yeah, we have D3 under D4. Okay. So this is the way of moving the file to file and file into directory and directory to file. This is what we have done. So let us take the history also. It will be helpful to you. You should not miss this for your practicing purpose. Now let us perform the operation that is removing. In removing, we have two commands. One is rm and rmdir. Two commands we have. Rm will be used for removing files and directories, and rmdir will be used for only file and directories removing. Only directories removing. So let's go with the rm. Is the command. Okay. ls. Check here. What are the files just you wanted to remove? add2.c. Students, are you there? Students?
Sir.
Okay. Just I wanted to remove the files. Just let me check. rm space add2.c. Just I wanted to remove. It is asking. Yeah. So we can press Y. It has been removed. Just check it. Add2.c is not available. So just I am taking rm space. If you want to do it forcefully, we are having -F. So f2.txt. We can delete multiple files also. f33.txt. then f4.txt, multiple files also, forcefully, without, it is not asking any permission here. So forcefully we can delete it. Next, here I wanted to delete combination all files and directories also. Files and directories also I wanted to remove. rm space, then f1 copy I wanted to remove. Next f5 I'm removing. Next directories we have created, d1 directory just I wanted to remove, and d2 directory also. Let's see what will happen. Yeah, regular for regular file it is asking okay s, for f5 okay s. For directories it is giving cannot remove, it is a directory. So what should we do? We have to give the option called R. We have to give the option called R option. Directories ఎప్పుడైనా కానీ recursive deletion ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి we have to give R, forcefully delete చేసేద్దాం. For the directories, the subfolders directories also will be there. That's why we have to give R. For copying also, directory copying we have to give R. Remember that R has been removed. Okay. So like that we can remove the files and directories. But ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే rm -r f star అని కొడితే ఏమైతే చెప్పండి, ఇక్కడున్న ఫైల్స్ ప్రతి ఒక్కటి కూడా డిలీట్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇక నీ ఇంక అవైలబుల్గా ఏమి ఉండవు, నీ కరెంట్ డైరెక్టరీలో ఏమి ఉండవు. బట్ rm is a very dangerous command. Don't play with this command. Okay, as an administrator, a system administrator, even if you are working with dev associate and all, don't use this command for simple reasons. Okay, so very important files also will be removed. We cannot get that file back. Okay, so as a student just you don't play here. If you try to use it properly here, then you can use it there also. So I too have faced the problems by using this rm. Okay, simply we can make use of rm like that. Then rmdir is used to delete the directories. For example, d4 directory I'm using. So it will give us some guidelines also. By using rmdir we can delete only empty directories. Empty directory means if any content is there in that directory, just remove that content. Just remove that content. Afterwards, when after making that as empty, then we can delete that empty directory. So rmdir will delete a directory whenever that directory is empty. Okay, it's not performing mkdir. Just I'm creating some d5 directory. I can delete rmdir d5. It is an empty directory. It has been deleted. d4 is not empty. Okay, we are having content there. Under d4 we have d3 also, so that's why it is not deleted. If you want to delete that d4 also by using rm, we can do rm, we can do rf, then d4, total directory will be deleted. There is no d4, it's not available. Okay, so this is the way of using the directories. Performing operations, copying, moving and removing. Okay, so let me take history. For the removing also. So next operation is very important operation, that is changing directories. Changing directories. Okay, the command is cd, changing directory. Okay, so while changing directory, here we will use two paths. We'll changing directory cd. We'll use two paths. One is absolute path. Next, second one is relative path. Relative path we use. So here, what is absolute path? What is relative path? So direct absolute path means total path will be giving. So let me talk about this absolute path, then we can go for relative path. Okay. Now, first of all, in order to change the directory from one directory to another directory, here I have to know where I am. In order to know where I am having the command called pwd, present working directory. Yeah, I am in root directory. I am in root directory because I am a root user. Under that root, I am working. So my present working directory, pwd means it's not password. Password is different. PASSWD. We can change the password. PWD, that is present working directory. That will give us the guidance. Here I am working. Here I am typing ls. All the list of directories in the under the current directories will be given. Okay. So here, just I wanted to change my directory to another directory, that is some dd1 directory. Yeah, I am changing the directory cd space dd1. Then check here what it is showing, dd1 pwd present working directory. I am under dd1. Here whatever the commands I wanted to type, I can type. Some a b c files I am creating, empty files will be listed out. Just to type tree command. Tree command will be from here onwards. Okay, what are the subdirectories files we are having here will be shown. So here my present working directory will be shown like this. Here I wanted to move to dd directly. Just I am going pwd. Let me take here. If I wanted to move, I can go here. But if I wanted to move to dd3, I can go by using slash cd space dd2 is available here. Yeah, you can check dd2 is available here. Cd space dd2 slash dd3, dd2 slash dd3. Here I can check pwd root under dd1, dd2, dd3. I am under dd3. I can touch some files. I can give some x, y, and z, some s different files and create. Here, if you type tree, that will show us. So under this, I am having dd4 directly. Under dd4, I do not have anything. Okay, if you want to move to dd4 also from here it is available directly. dd4 I can use. Yeah, that is giving dd4 and present working directory. You can see under dd1, dd2, dd3. Now I am under dd4. Here, whatever the files I create here will be saved here only. Some different files I am creating. They will be here only. Okay, that's fine. Tree won't be work. PWD I am giving. Now, if just I wanted to go back. Okay, here whatever the paths I have given till now, those are the absolute paths. Absolute paths I have given. Okay. If I wanted to go back, I can go back. Here we have to remember some symbols. We have to remember some symbols. Symbols are dot represents current directory, current dir. Double dot represents parent dir. Then tilde represents home directory, home dir, users home dir, then slash represents root directory, root dir. These are the 4 symbols we have to remember. Observe here. Here, just I wanted to go back. PWD. I wanted to go back to some DD3, the parent, immediate parent, CD space double dot. See, now I move to my change directory, change it to its parent, DD4 parent, that is DD3. Just I wanted to move to DD2. Simply I can type double dot. No, I don't. I directly wanted to move to DD1. Then we can type slash double dot. Then it will move to DD2. Then here it represents DD2, first 2 dots. Next it represents DD1. Observe here, PW. Now I am under DD1, isn't it? Here, if I wanted to type, go to again DD2. Let me go DD2, PWD. I am under DD2. Here, if I wanted to go to my root directory, here I can use double dot slash double dot. Then only I will move to root. This is one possibility. We are having one more possibility called CD tilde. CD tilde. The CD tilde represents wherever we are, that directly moves us to home directory. That directly moves us to home directory. See, the home directory, that is root PWD. Instead of CD tilde, see, we can use CD space DD1, DD2. So I'm taking, now I'm under DD2. Just I wanted to move to home directory, the CD also will work. CD tilde will work, or direct CD also will be worked. If I type CD, that will bring us to home directory. Directly bring us to home directory. See, wherever I am, any subdirectories మధ్యలో నేను ఉన్నా కానీ నేను home directory వచ్చేస్తాను. That is CD. Okay, so this is the way of using the changing directories. And I wanted to move to root directory. Root అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకున్న ROT root కాదు, main root directory. So that time CD space slash. Observe here, PWD, that is root is a named directory. Okay, slash represents the starting slash represents, that is root. I will tell you now. CD space slash. I will move to root. Where is that root? PWD. See, where is that root? PWD. Here it is a directory. Under this, all the operating system files will be placed in a hierarchical order, hierarchical structure. It is a tree structured manner arrangement of the files and directories in the operating system. Okay, tree structured manner. So after installation in Windows, we'll be having some Windows file, then users file, then program files. All files will be installed and created in the Windows C drive. But whereas here in bin, we can see sorry, whereas here in root, we can see all the files. Here bin, root, div, etc, home, lib, lib4, media, mount, many files are there. See, most of your operating system will be placed in USR. USR file lo మీ operating system files అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి. etc, all script files అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి. Script files. Here device related information, logical information will be there here in div directory. Okay, me users related information kuda, users passwords, user names information will be there here in etc directory. Okay, so here we can move to root directory also. Root directory is different, root user is different. Okay, so here many users under cd/home you can check ls. So what are the usernames here? These are the usernames available. Okay, we can see the usernames here. All are available. Whatever the users we have created, we can see. cd again. I'm typing slash, and then root only. I'm coming. I'm checking everything. Whatever I have. ఒక అడ్మిన్ యూజర్గా ఒక సిస్టమ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్గా ఇవన్నీ కూడా నేర్చుకోవాలి. లోపల ఏముంటాయి తెలియాలి. ఓకే, యూ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ passwords information. Actually here we can use all other commands with the paths. Under this I'm having it, under here only I'm having files. Under etc I'm having password file. Here all users information will be there, users information. Then cat slash it is already there. Shadow we gives a password information, that is encrypted password information. See, many characters are there here. Up to here it is the encrypted password has been encrypted, so we cannot decrypt that. Encryption decryption algorithms are there, you know. Okay, different encryption algorithms they are using in this operating system. Such information is there. Now where I am, just I want to check pwd always. If I list out here, all files will be available. Now I wanted to go to my home directory, then cd is enough. If you want to type tilde, you can use tilde also. It represents the current user's home directory. నా యూజర్ హోమ్ డైరెక్టరీ ఎక్కడ ఉందో నేను అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోతాను. బై డిఫాల్ట్ cd or cd tilde. You can type pwd and ls. All are available. Okay, so this is the way of changing the directories by using absolute paths, by using relative paths. So the absolute paths observe here. I wanted to move to dd1. It is absolute path. dd2, dd3. We are using absolute path to change the directory. Here I am using relative path, that is cd. I wanted to move to d1. From home to d1 I am identifying. I can go like this also. From home to I can identify dd1. I can move to dd1. I can change my directory to dd1. Instead of this, I can go backward also, that is pwd. How can I go backward? cd double dot will go to dd1, again double dot, sorry, dd2, again double dot, that will move to dd1. This is also one relative path. It is also one relative path. Instead of this, I can try cd tilde. What it will search? Tilde means it will look from home directory. This is the home directory. From the home directory, identify dd1. So that will identify dd1 directly. I can change the directory like that also. Okay, so these are the ways of changing the directories. And not only changing directories, these paths will be used for copying, moving and removing also. Copying, moving and removing. See, I will give you two more examples, then I will wind up the class today. Next
Okay.
time is not. Okay, here I wanted to perform some moving. Okay, here the moving I am under dd1. I wanted to go to home directory, then tree. Observe here, I am having edition.java. I wanted to move this edition.java to under dd4. dd4 under లోకి నేను మూవ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. that is there under DD1, DD2, DD3. Under DD3, I'm having DD4. Under that, I wanted to copy or move, copying or moving. So addition is available here, first of all, available here. So from here onwards, I wanted to perform. CP, the file name, that is addition.java. To where under DD1, DD2, DD3, and under that I am having DD4. See, that will be copied. Here I can give the path also. I can give the path and copy to that particular destination. Okay, so let me check whether it is available or not. Yeah, that addition has been copied. Addition has been copied to DD4. From there to here, it has been copied. Okay. Just I wanted to move. I wanted to copy this addition from under DD4. I wanted to copy this to under DD1. ఇప్పుడు నా కరెంట్ డైరెక్టరీ నేను ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాను, ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాను. ఇక్కడ ఉండి నేను ఇక్కడ ఫైల్ ని తీసుకొచ్చి ఇక్కడ వేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. లిసన్ టు మీ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. మై పొజిషన్ ఈస్ హియర్. I wanted to bring this file to under DD1. So see, my current working file is here. Correct directory is this one. So now I am copying CP. My file is there under DD4. My file is there under DD4. Under DD4, I'm having a file addition.java. Now I've identified source. I wanted to bring it to DD1. So under DD1, I'm copying. See, like this, I can give the paths. I can give the paths. Observe here. That is absolute path, and combinedly, I'm using relative paths also we are going to use. So that addition, copy this. Likewise, we can do the operations, the copying. Okay. Next, same. I am moving to DD1 slash DD2 slash DD3 slash DD4. I'm changing their directory. Here some files are there. Now I wanted to move this addition under DD3, addition.java. So DD3 under లో ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాను, PWD DD4 లో ఉన్నాను. ఎలా నేను కాపీ చేస్తాను, CP అయితే మూవ్ చేయండి. మూవ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు, let us perform CP. Now my file name is addition.java. ఇక్కడ అవైలబుల్ గా ఉంది కాబట్టి నేను పాత్ ఇవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. డైరెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్. I just wanted to copy into DD3. So here I can give the parent. Under the parent directory, this will be moved to the parent. Double dot is enough. That will be copied to the parent. So check it. Then go to home directory, my home directory. So that file has been copied to DD3. Okay, just you keep on practice the paths also. By practicing only you can remember. Just I'll give this history also. I'm winding up the class today. Okay, for changing directory. Not only for changing directory, then moving, copying, removing, for all other operations, so we can make use of paths. It is also a path. So keep on practice. Okay, students, if possible, we can see the remaining commands later in the next session. Meanwhile,
5 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. Dear students, we will share the file to your WhatsApp group, and please practice up to 171 commands. Sir was given that what are the commands, and apart from that, and we will use that regular the Linux basic Linux commands. Lab practice is also available. So if you practice that, and they will allocate some marks. When they will allocate, if you really using that Dev associate virtual mission, under that whenever you are practicing, automatically they will check that because it is a virtual mission. So you have to practice these commands today, and tomorrow you'll use some other commands. After that, you have to practice all the commands in your terminal. Okay, all the best, and I will forward this file to you. And one more thing, I already given that so dump. Every day you have to practice dump. Apart from the practice of these commands, you please practice the dump also. And today your job is practice all the basic Linux commands. These commands are required daily practicing of your lab sessions. So 23 lab sessions. So maximum we have to use the command is ls command is required, and cd command is required, and copy command, move command, cat command. So some of the commands are very important daily will use, but sir was given a beautiful explanation about all the commands. So please practice, and my sincere request is all of you please practice. Okay, we'll stop the class, and I will share this file to your WhatsApp group, and those who are absent, so please forward this file to your friends also. But next class onwards, sharp timing, please maintain timings, and I will give the schedule also, because we are checking with the center team. Based on the center team timetable, we'll fix the time for explaining all the remaining modules explanation as well as lab programs. Okay, so please leave the meeting and practice all the commands.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
thank you, students.